And there we go. Okay, so here is Thymesia. I would like to lose on changes. Change the master volume to 60. 5. And there we go. Okay, let's start a new game. No data. Hermes Kingdom, the land of alchemy. It is said that alchemy employed here transforms diseases into antidotes. The people of Hermes were protected by this mystical art, and the kingdom became one of the most powerful nations on the continent. Fascinating. Oh. Oh, let's increase the size of the background there. And let's move this down so that you can see the header. There we go. Press any key to continue. Okay. In the beginning, people thought it was just another infectious disease. It wasn't until the livestock began dying and those who had been infected began shrieking out in pain that they realized a deadly plague had befallen them. Various kingdoms tried to fend off the sickness and ghastly creatures, but their efforts were futile, and despair engulfed the entire continent. That's sad. Hermes' kingdom, founded atop a colossal tree, quickly rose to power due to their use of miraculous alchemical science, which was able to turn the plague into a cure. As the plague ravaged the lands, they relied on alchemy to make the blessed flame. But where there is light, there will always be shadow. True. Very true. Basic controls: move the left stick to move Corvus, press in the left stick to sprint, use the right stick to look around, and use A to interact with objects. Okay. Crumpled up piece of paper. That camera's a little jittery. Okay, saber attacks. Press right bumper to do a saber attack, press B to dodge an enemy. Saber attacks deal damage to the enemy and leave wounds on them. Wounds are temporary and will heal after a short period. When the enemy's health and wounds are both at 0, they will become dazed. Approaching a dazed enemy and using the right bumper will execute them. Okay. Okay, right bumper, execute, there we go. And okay, the camera is camera auto avoid. When there is an obstacle between Corvus and the camera will automatically avoid the obstacle. Sure. Camera sensitivity, let's make the camera a bit less sensitive. I wonder what other languages it's available in. Okay, it's available in what looks like English, Japanese, German, Spanish, French, Italian. Okay, so I'm guessing one is like Japanese, one is this one maybe I think might be Mandarin, Korean, Russian, and maybe Cantonese. Oh, I don't want to reset. No. Go back over to the camera. gonna bring the sensitivity down to 35. Why? No, 1%. Why these changes? Yes. There we go. Now that the camera changes, now that the camera camera on this is a little jittery. Okay, there's destructible elements on the map. Okay, so using the right or the left bumper just before the enemy attacks will allow Corvus to deflect it. Deflecting an enemy attack negates the damage. Negates the enemy attack. We took a small amount of damage there. Due to the recent epidemic outbreak, the Hermes Kingdom is declaring a state of emergency. All citizens must abide by the following orders. Citizens are forbidden from going out. Essential supplies will be distributed by the Knights. Any sightings of plague-like symptoms or mutations must be immediately reported to the Knights to be dealt with. And any corpses or unclean objects must be handed over to relevant personnel to be incinerated and purified. Effective date, immediately. Okay, well at the very least they're trying to keep the shit under control. Display mode, window. Texture quality, let's put it to low. Shadow quality, let's put it to low. Filter quality, medium is fine. Anti-aliasing. Let's leave that. Put that onto high, motion blur, and VSync. Blur affects the surroundings triggered by movement. Let's turn motion blur off. Okay, things are running a bit smoother. Oh, shiny in here. Paper on the ground, okay. Use the right bumper to block the enemy. Gun item key to the plaza. Let's open it. You are the devourer. Wield your claws and tear the accursed bodies. So pressing the right trigger will perform a claw attack. Claw attacks deal a lot of damage to enemy wounds and prevents them from healing. Getting a plague weapon, hold the right trigger to fully charge Corvus's claw and release to reeve a plague weapon. Reeving deals more damage to the enemy. Corvus is vulnerable while charging his claw. It's safer to perform it on dazed enemies. Okay. And okay, did I reeve a weapon off of him? No, I don't think I did. Let's see if I can do that on a different enemy. There we go. Achievement unlocked. Test ride. Okay. Use Y to cast a plague weapon. Reeved plague weapons can only be used once. Corvus has super armor when casting a plague weapon, but can still take damage. Okay, so it looks like I have super poise when that's active. Being a... That didn't... Oh, okay, I got a dagger. Anonymous Soldier's Diary. The King's Dagger and Grey Armor. They're our last hope. They lead the survivors, tried to make things right. The infected corpses were burned to purify them of the sickness. Okay. I can't jump in this game. Can't enter air for some reason. But that's just part of the scenery. Beacon. Resting on a beacon will save your current progress, refill potions, and restore health and energy. Resting on a beacon will also resurrect most enemies. The beacon kind of reminds me of the chairs in Bloodborne. Okay. I mean, not chairs. Feathers as lethal as iron arrows pierce their wounds. So when a green light appears before the enemy, they will perform a critical attack. The attack cannot be deflected. Instead, Corvus must move out of range and use a feather attack. Use the left trigger to throw a feather and interrupt the enemy attack. Just before the enemy critically attacks Corvus, Corvus will regenerate thrown arrows over time. Feathers will also leave wounds on them. Okay, so when the health is low, use the right stick. I think that's... How do I use a potion? No, that's using the reap weapon. Do I use a potion? Oh, that's up on the control pad. I'm stupid. I thought that was pressing the right stick. Okay. Where's a guard? Oh damn it, I died. Oh well. Well, I can try to regain my memory. Ah, there we go. Try that again. Reeve a weapon on. I got a great sword and a key to the cemetery. Nice. Gonna rest up. Used up all my healing potions. Hopefully that bastard doesn't reset, and if he does, I'll just have to fight him off again. Okay, good. That bastard doesn't respawn. Excellent. What's over here? President's diary. How did this all begin? The house had an accident occurred on the day of the king's birthday. Previously, the plague was only spreading outside the kingdom, but after the outbreak, all have gone mad. Something is going on here that doesn't make all sense. Okay. Paper on the ground. The pathway to all regions of the kingdoms are either lined with monsters or blocked by soldiers. None can leave and none can enter. Water up there doesn't seem to be connected to anything. Oh hey, the roots of that tree that the kingdom is built into. Let's over this way. Nothing. Just a vantage point to see what's up above, what's below. That looks like a boss. Always have to wait for that quill to recover. Go. I wonder if there's any reward for beating this. Oh, hello there. And what might that be? Oh, and I'm dead. Well, I'm dead. Wonder if you get anything for beating that guy. Let's try to check the, to try to see if there's like a wiki with the information for this. Probably just gonna be a ton of resources. Okay, looks like there isn't any, achievement for beating him. Oh, who is this young woman? Thymesia. Orvis, you're finally awake. I was worried about you. You were badly hurt. Luckily, you made it back in time. Orvis, do you remember what you did? You need the right formula to use Hermes' answer. It appears that the injury caused you to lose your memory, so perhaps it would be helpful to start with a description of what you still remember. Come back when you've got your memories in order. Till then, you can walk around. It might help jog your memory. At the very least, I have all of the resources I started out with. So Corvus can recall memories by visiting locations and quests on the map. The early days of the plague, the nobles banished all criminals, the poor and the sickly to a lower level of the kingdom known as the Sea of Trees. The upper rings of society, living alone, while living above the slum, cared nothing for their lives. They referred to them as the hopeless, letting them succumb to sickness and all manner of ghastly creatures. Hermes wrote a bulletin. The families of the Knightly Order petitioned the king to stop sending knights to battle outside the kingdom's border. Former chairman of the Institute for Alchemical Studies, Emerald, has officially appointed someone to take her position. Emerald has said that she wanted someone with even greater abilities than herself to lead the alchemical research in Hermes. Twilight Circus, hailing from the Sea of Trees, has once again been invited to perform for the royal court. As expected, Ringmaster Odor's new performance was received with great acclaim from all who attended. Okay. So those are some names I have to keep track of. Odor and Emerald. Philosopher's Hill was the royal family sanctuary. Every fall, Father would take us here. He says that on the hill, he is not a king, but merely a father and a friend. There is no need for formalities here, he would say. After the outbreak, domestic matters became pressing, and our visits to this place grew less and less. So the Philosopher's Hill is some sanctuary for the nobility and for the royalty. Does that mean that Corvus is a member of the royal family, perhaps? Corvus, are you ready to recall? Yes. So we can go to the Sea of Trees. In the early days of the plague, the nobles... Okay, already read this. So it looks like this isn't... So am I actually going to this location, or is this just a recollection of my previous going through here? Okay, everything's dark. Is everything supposed to be dark? Hold on a moment. I think something happened with the game, so let's try again. So during the outbreak, the kingdom seemed doomed. Okay, so it looks like I can access that area before it's finished loading and it causes this black screen to occur. Okay, well, whatever. I'm going to terminate the stream, start a new one where I'm gonna play some Elden Ring. So yeah, I'm gonna put the end card on for right now, and then I'll boot up Elden Ring. This was fun so far. I mean, I personally enjoyed it, and I'll try doing some more of this later. Time for the end card.